Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
We're going to talk about inner peace. And Nellie, when you think of the word inner peace and how it correlates with doubt, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Inner peace. Yeah, I think it comes down to really listening to what I think. That still small voice. That's when I feel the most peaceful, and that's what knocks out all doubt, because when you're just listening to yourself, you're not going to doubt anything because you're following what you believe and what you know your truth to be. So that is what I think of, about inner peace and removing all doubt.
I love that. Yes. When I think of inner peace, I had looked up the word peace and what that actually meant, and it was the freedom from disturbance. And I was like, oh, I love that. Freedom from disturbance. And it's the truth. Like you said, it's that self-reassurance, that self-acceptance, that, authenticity. And we talk about authenticity all the time throughout our coaching sessions and lives. That is a part of our peace. And I wanted to talk about doubt because doubt comes up and it creeps in all the time. And I had posted this past week how we gaslight ourselves. We become gaslighters. We allow the monster, I like to call it the green monster in our minds, to just take over and hover and distract us and discourage us from all that we want to do and accomplish, and also how we view ourselves and accepting us and loving ourselves fully, unconditionally. And I think it's unfortunate, but what contributes to that is allowing the external world to dictate your internal self. We so often seek outside validation, outside acceptance, when in reality, the only person that needs to accept us is ourselves. And if we love ourselves, and that means the shadow sides of ourselves, our faults, our weaknesses, because weaknesses can eventually be strengths, right? Everything we can learn. So I think of doubt because it happens often. We always can think of the worst case scenario that can possibly happen, or I can't do that because someone else is doing it, or because I grow up in a specific environment, I don't deserve success or love, right? There it comes down to the doubt, and then worthiness. Doubt and worthiness are very aligned, and they correlate very well, because if you don't feel you're worthy, you'll doubt yourself, and therefore you wouldn't have the motivation or the persistence to continue on and find your own happiness. So Nellie, when you think about doubt, is there a moment in your life where you've felt doubt took over you and prevented you from pursuing something in your life or someone?
Whoa, that was a huge bug that almost took out my face.
Oh.
Out here in Pennsylvania. I would say doubt creeped in more as I got older. When I was younger, I was like, I'm going to move to New York City and model and act there. Everybody in my small town, Pennsylvania, thought that was funny because it did. Now looking back, I'm like, wow, I was a bold youngster. And we're still young out here. But as you get older and you're living your life, and relationships with other people start to shape you, and jobs and getting fired or hired, or all these things that come with getting older, you have more of awareness of the way things could be, the way things could go, the way things should go, and all this stuff. And so I would say that started making me doubt myself. You look around, oh, this person's married, this person has kids, this person, their acting career took off at a young age, all these things. And so really, like you said, when you start looking outside yourself, and I think that's the thing, that's the big difference. I was like, why wasn't it like that when I was younger? When I was younger, maybe because I was kind of a loner. Like I would be very involved with people, but I was usually outside playing in the trees, doing what I wanted to do. Honest to God, climbing trees, catching grasshoppers. There's a playground behind my house. I was always down there by myself. And so I didn't really have a lot of people speaking into my life. So I just, when I wanted to do something, I was just like, oh, I'm going to do it. And then as I got older, people started telling me what to do more. And I think it was more of their fear for not being projected onto me because they weren't going after what they wanted. And I started to listen, but now I don't anymore.
Yeah, I love that. I know. I forget that I mute this. I love that because that external contribution becomes our like reality and our like groundwork and foundation from which we actually don't end up building up from. We end up just staying down and we stay down and we just stay, and then therefore it starts transitioning into all that we seek to do in life and accomplish. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. And so I love that you came to that realization that when you were younger, there was no doubt in your mind because you were a loner. But as you got older and really jumped into the societal situations and trying to live your life on your own, other people projected their ideals, their fears on you, and then somehow end up becoming yours. And therefore, your inner peace is taken away. Your confidence is taken away. Your pursuits are no longer like yours. They end up going, well, never mind, because it didn't work out for that person. Well, it didn't work out for that person, and you don't know why it didn't work out. That wasn't your story. This is, and choosing to go back to yourself. So for me, when I think of inner peace and doubt is removing the doubt. And I don't like to say I expect things because I don't try to put that pressure on people or things. But what's another way of saying that? Be open and allow space for good things to happen, right, in your life. And have the confidence to tell yourself that you are worthy of something. And there are days when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm meant to do this. This is something new. Like, I don't know. But here's the beauty. You have an opportunity to learn something. And the best thing you can do is just go for it. Just start. Just start. And when it comes to peace, I think it comes down to also loving yourself. Loving who you are 100,000%. And that can be very difficult if other people aren't appreciating you or seeing you, or you feel lonely for some reason. And it can get difficult and hard to find that love within yourself and therefore your inner peace. Hello, hello, and your inner peace. Nelly, when it comes to peace, and we've been on this planet for quite a bit of time, what do you consider peace in your life now versus, I don't know, 10 years ago?
I think it comes back to, I think 10 years ago, I'm like trying to remember how old I am. I think the difference between then and now, and this is only something I'm really coming into, is I would only feel peace if I felt safe by being accepted by those around me, which is a very normal thing, survival. You need to be accepted usually. If you go way back when to the caveman days, right? If you weren't accepted and you're booted out, you would die. And so they talk about the reptilian brain, which is something very fascinating, and I don't want to get too much into that. But I started thinking about that as you were just speaking. It's really now at peace is just, I have to listen to my own voice. I can't listen to anybody else. You just can't. It doesn't mean nobody has anything to offer, but you really can't give weight to other people all the time, because what they're offering you is only their own experience. So they're offering you advice from their own experience, but only you know what's truly going to work for you. I've had so many things said to me. It's comical at this point. One day somebody likes something or something's good about me, and the next day the same person or somebody else hates it. And they tell me, everybody tells me. I'm like, I don't know, man, if it's just because I'm a strong person and people are just like, blah, and you just can't listen. So I realized that peace now is just really not listening to the good or the bad, the positive or the negative, low vibe, high vibe people throw at you. You have to maintain the high vibe. Okay, what do I think? And it's hard because you don't want to completely tune people out, and you want community, but you have to be stronger. We talk about that, not letting other people's opinions become your own. And I love when you say that. So my piece now is more about me accepting myself rather than being accepted by others.
I love that.
No
I
time.
love
No
that.
time for that. We're all going to die. I think about it. It's so
Yeah.
rude, but it's so terrible. But I'm like, oh my God, you want to die? And you look back and you're like, oh my God, everything was about everybody else. Not in a
It's
good way. It's
so,
good to help people, but
yeah, no, it's great. And it's so funny you say that, because I was saying this yesterday. I'm like, we're all gonna freaking die. Like, that's the truth. We are all gonna die. It's just a matter of fact. So what are you gonna do in between that time when you're here? What does that mean for you? That means saying peace in my own identity. Exactly. Thank you for that. Peace in my own identity. What are you gonna do between that time frame while you're living here? Is being you, finding the joy in your life, finding your life's purpose, all those things. That is what we have. We have so much time in between, and yet we're so concerned about what we don't have time for, or what other people are thinking, and perceptions and all these things, when actually it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, I was thinking about that. I said, when the time comes and I'm 80 something years old, maybe 90, pushing 90, I just want to be like buried pretty much naked the way I was born, because I can't go to wherever I'm going with anything that I have physically here. So I want to be as pure as I can when I go, because I came in as pure. Right. And, you made me think about just, I think inner peace comes back to realizing of letting go, really about letting go of things you can't control, letting go of the past, letting go of situations that have already happened. And I was listening to Oprah, and she said, forgiving people that have done you wrong doesn't necessarily mean you accepted their uh, treatment of you. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you're accepting or their treatment. What you're doing is you're accepting that it happened. And I think that is a part of your inner peace. Your inner peace is about accepting all that has already happened. You can't go back. But what you can do right now is learn from those situations, or learn from that and find the peace with it and accept it. Forgive yourself. We've done so many things in our lives that maybe we'd have done different, but there was a reason why you did it, because you wouldn't have had that experience, those situations. You would have never met certain people, and you wouldn't be who you are currently. Right? So everything happens for a reason. And if you understand that, there's a sense of peace with that as well, because you're not looking to solve the past, because you can't solve the past, right? All you have is the present. It is the present moment. And that is a gift, right? And so that is a part of the what contributes to your inner peace, is accepting who you are, accepting things that already happened, forgiving yourself, releasing the doubt, because you are capable of great things. Everybody is great. Everybody has the ability to be great. We're born great. We just have to now do the work in between to get there, right? Any professional out there, any successful person out there, they have greatness because they committed to themselves. They got routines and things that they're doing. They're open to being vulnerable. They're open to acknowledging their weaknesses and making them now strengths. I constantly talk about the fact that I never thought my voice was worthy to be shared with the world, because I was so insecure about it. And now it is my greatest gift that I didn't even know I was born with, right? Like, it's amazing when you think of it that way. So start thinking about the things in your life that maybe you feel negative about or less than about. See that as a gift. See that as an opportunity to make it better, or enhance it, or improve it, or share it with the world. Because there's a reason why it's coming up for you. There's a reason why your dreams are coming to you. There's a reason why certain thoughts and creative ideas are coming to you, because they're yours. That is a part of your inner peace, is embracing who you are throughout your journey, and not seeking external validation, not seeking other people to fill your cup, not seeking yes, we all want to be loved. That is a matter of fact. We're human beings. We want to be loved in our own versions, in our own way. But the, the one and number one person we should be loving is ourselves. That is the number one person we should be loving. Nelly, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. And, I always say hashtag no judgment because it's a learning process. And I think there has to be a balance. I definitely think people are going to say things to you, and it really is up to you to filter it and see if it is for your best interest. And we all need to continually work on ourselves. I mean, that is part of the journey. Amanda and I are speaking to you from years of experience. I've really put myself through it, and sometimes, and I've been doing a lot of breath work lately, and my teacher is saying, "Oh, are you adding judgment? Are you adding another layer to the breakthrough?" Because there's always the initial pain of feeling like the pain of what it feels like if you do let your life be depicted only by external validation. That is painful if you do that. And then on top of that, if you judge yourself, how are you going to heal from that and move through it if you have judgment on top of that? So I'm doing this breath work, I'm judging myself for my choices, and she's like, we're not going to heal if you do that. And so it's really important to get to know yourself and know who you are. Continue to work on yourself. It's funny when people say, well, this is just who I am and people have to deal with it. Well, I don't know. Okay, but we should treat each other well. And I think it's good to consider others, especially if it's not having a negative impact on you. You're not going to get along with everybody, but just bulldozing through life, there's so many ways that people protect themselves. But I wanted to read this thing that I did just this week. I'm in this new class that's teaching you about how to prioritize your time, and it really speaks to what we're talking about. And it had you write down your mission in life, based on what you love and what you enjoy. And then it says, if what you're doing in life and the people that you're around or whatever, it's not aligning with that mission, it's just a reminder that you're kind of wasting your time, right? So my mission, I found, for me, is I want to show the world empathy through storytelling, teaching, that leading with anger halts change, and I want to empower creatives to take control of their careers. So if I'm living my life and someone says something that takes me away from what I know deep down is my desire, this is what I really feel that I'm here for, don't listen. And I love accepting your shadow self. I'm very strong and intense, and I used to feel bad about that. And if it is hurting somebody, I will correct it. But I'm always thinking, I'm not trying to hurt people, and if I do, I apologize. There's nothing wrong with being intense and bold and saying what you want. So I'm also really weird. Oh well. Works for a lot of people, and then the other people can judge, and that's fine.
Well, I don't think you're weird. I think you're perfectly you, and I love you for that. Of course, you've done so many things for me in my life. So I'm grateful for all of you. And I love the idea of finding out and defining your mission, because that will define your life's purpose. What is it that you really, truly enjoy doing? Right? Because what you enjoy doing is something you can contribute to the world, not only just yourself. And I love that, because I discovered that recently, where it's I love helping people find themselves and be true to themselves and walk in their authenticity, because for a long time I didn't. And so now it means so much to me to bring that to the world and to let people know that they're all creatives. And I think there's this idea that you have to be like an artist or a musician to be creative. And I'm like, no, you can be creative at anything you do. And when you start thinking like that way, it becomes more fun. It becomes more transcendent across the world and to people. And that is a part of my mission, is, assisting people. I wouldn't say service, because if you listen to our last live, we talked about serving people and how that can mess up your mindset of thinking that you're in servitude of somebody versus assisting others and helping others and encouraging others, right? And I love that. So that's one thing to contribute to finding your peace, is finding out What is your life's purpose? What is your mission in life, right? Is it to help others through your voice, or is it to help others through your art, or through your pictures, or working in your 9 to 5? Whatever it is, find it out and then do it 100,000%, and let your heart be in it. Open up your heart. And that is also a part of your peace, is allowing your heart to be open to who you are, to the world itself, so that you can welcome goodness. You can welcome the abundance. You can welcome the prosperity. You can welcome the creativity on all the people that are meant to be in your life, not the ones that are just there to take from you. There are a lot of people who are leeches because they see you as bright and they see you as something better or bigger, and they want to take that from you. So they want to be in your energy field to take your energy from you, right? Those are not the people you want. You want people to uplift you, right? And that is also contributing to your peace, because if you're in an environment that's sucking your energy, you're always going to be in that low vibration. You're always going to be doubting yourself. You're always going to be somber. You're going to be negative about creative ideas. You may come up with something really cool or something fun to do, and you're like, oh, that's great. Never mind. They're not going to like it. They're going to shut it down. Then do it on your own. All you've got is you. You were born with you. So embrace yourself. Take the time to date yourself. Take yourself out. Do the things that you want to do even by yourself. Like, you want to go skating? You don't need anybody. Go out. You may meet new amazing people who enjoy that, and join a group and a club and a dance, whatever, skate group, but just go out there and live, right? Allow the peace to energy snatchers. Yes, there's a lot of energy snatchers out there. Let me tell you, there's a lot of energy snatchers. But that's when you have your inner peace, you're also aware of things around you. When you are loving yourself and accepting yourself and all the things, and listening to your voice and your body, you're aware of those that are not serving your alignment and your purpose and your goodness. Because everybody, I believe, at their core is good. I truly believe that everybody is good at their core. And if you start believing that you're good and worthy, you will start walking through life understanding that, and like I said, expecting good things to happen to you because you're worthy of it. Nelly, you were going to say something. I saw a thought pop in.
Yes, and I love that. I love everything that you're saying. And I wanted to add something earlier when you were talking about self-doubt. And I've really been thinking about what causes that. And I really believe there are 2 reasons you doubt yourself. Number 1 is you're listening to everybody else instead of yourself. So you're like, this is me, and this really aligns with me and lights me up. And then someone else is like, oh, I don't know. Projection. So you doubt yourself. But number 2, this is a hard one. It's your ego. So then your ego, and I'm not talking about the ego like, I'm so full of myself. I mean, the ego protects you. Is a big one I've been learning, because your ego and your intuition are 2 different things. So usually your ego makes you doubt yourself if it's something new that you're trying, or maybe it's something that you're familiar with, but it would take you closer to aligning to your authentic journey and self, and it's blocking you, because that would be you would grow and you would get closer. And there's so many ways to self-sabotage, and one of them is self-doubt. Even though you literally can do anything, and if it's a thought in your mind and a desire in your heart, and you wake up and that's something that you want to do, it means you can. I don't care what anybody says. If it's something you want, it's in you, then you can. Mm-hmm. So it's either you're listening to everybody else, or you're listening to your ego and not your intuition.
Yeah, I love that. I love the acknowledgement of your ego. I think ego is very big in decision making, and I really feel that the choices you make, and I heard this today, the choices you make are the way you view yourself. And I was like, ooh, I was like, wow, that really hit. That really hit hard. I was like, wow, the choices you make really is it how you view yourself. So the choices you make are either gonna, if you're making positive choices, that means you have a positive, confident outlook about yourself. But if you're making choices that are going against it, you don't feel so confident. You don't feel the love, right? That is how you value yourself. Value, I think, really also aligns with doubt. I think we devalue ourselves as human beings, and that comes down to, like, if it's in you, like you said, I love that. If it's in you and it came to you, then it means you're meant to do it. And you have to value that belief. Value the belief that you can do it because it was given to you. That, again, that idea, that stream of creativity, whatever it is, it came to you for a reason because you're capable of doing it. But here's the thing, I think we get so caught up, and we'll talk about this in another episode, I know we're getting short on time, is the idea of gratitude versus like gratification and happiness, right? We look for instant gratification. And if we're not, we prefer the instant gratification versus the long-term commitment that gets you to the bigger goal, right? We look for that instant gratification, so we stop pursuing the bigger goal. We just go, okay, this is good enough. I just want to, and I learned this, take out the, I just want to make this. Hey, Brandon, I just want to make $100,000. No, you don't just want to get by. Don't just get by in life. Excel, be great. And I learned that, and I stopped saying that. I stopped saying that, like, I just want to be successful. I want to be happy. I don't just want, that's not committing. That's not accepting. That's not like, what's it's not giving yourself the confidence and the mindset to know that you can be great. It's just allowing the bare minimum. So you will always reach that right above the ceiling, right below, that breaking the ceiling. You would just reach that and be saying, well, I'm just. You're never going to get beyond. And that's a mentality that I think we get so caught up in. And just know that. Nelly, I know we're getting short of time, but what do you got to say?
Yeah, no, I agree. I used to do that too. Like in relationships, I was like, I just want someone that thinks I'm cool. Just somebody, and all this stuff. And in work, I was like, oh, I just want to make X amount of money. And then you got to be specific with the universe because I grossed it. I didn't net the money, the amount. But the biggest thing is that we're coaches and we understand this takes practice. Even we're both certified. When we were going through a certification, we had to do the same things that we coach other people on, and it takes practice. So I did a manifestation course, and she was like, dream big, and it felt really strange because I had to, when you're stating things that you've never experienced that you want to have and you see other people have, and you have no idea how you're going to get there, and you don't believe you can get there because you haven't even been close, it's hard. It can be painful to say what you want too, because then you put it out there. What if it doesn't happen? I said my dream. I said what I want. What if it doesn't happen? It's better to just keep it. I'll just say the bare minimum because I don't really think it can happen. And then I've been there, but I'm telling you, it gets easier. Even me, I just wrote out what I want to happen in a year. And that's crazy amounts of money, working in TV and film and all these things. Amanda and I in our podcast, having a good time, doing all this stuff, our coaching, all these things. And it feels less and less crazy because you allow yourself to dream big and say what you truly want. And a lot of that, unfortunately, comes from, I don't know, when you're kids, you can say what you want to do, and everyone's like, yes, you can. That's cute. Yes. And then you get to a certain age, and then people are like, how dare you dream? So that's why it's hard to say what you want. I was like, I'm going to move to New York City and do acting and modeling. And everyone's like, well, what about your plan B? Like, how will you make money and all these things? And so I was afraid to tell people. And sometimes you have to keep your dreams to yourself, right, around certain people, unfortunately. But, I get a little tired of protecting other people's egos. It means you have to stand firm. Know what you want. Many people are going to tell you can't. Know yourself, have the inner peace, and be like, but this is what I want, this is what I can do. And that's all that matters, is that I know that. That is all that matters. That is peace. Y'all, you come and you stand, whatever.
Man, I love that. And that's so great. And I want to say, this and no, like we always think about what if it doesn't work out, but what if it does? What if it does work out? And start again. It's about perception. It's about flipping your mindset and reassociating those negative thoughts with more positive ones, uplifting ones, right? And that is a part also of your inner peace. And I love what you said, and I just believe in yourself 100% that you're capable. And it's true. As a kid, they tell you you can do anything, and then you get older, and they're like, well, I had a friend who did that, or a friend of a friend and a cousin of somebody else, and they did it, and I'm telling you, it didn't work out. So maybe not. Don't do it. When in reality, all they're doing is projecting their fears on and doubts on you because they tried something and they didn't stick to it. They didn't stick to it. So, and I always say this: don't allow someone else's opinion of you become your reality. It is not your reality; it's their opinion. And I will leave you with that. But that inner peace is accepting yourself, forgiving yourself, forgiving others for doing you wrong. It already happened. Let it go because it's not serving you currently, and it's not serving where you're meant to go. Know that you're capable of greatness, and it is very difficult. And I've been there, and now like Nell said, we've done the work. I know what it is to be like, maybe I'll just say I'm going to make this amount of money instead of like the bigger number. I don't think it's plausible for me because I never got there. Well, the way I'm living right now is never. That time is not going to get me there because it's only gotten me but so far. So just acknowledging and accepting that, what you've done is getting you to where you are, but to get in order to where you want to go, you have to do more. You have to think outside the box. And that just made me think about what you were saying is, it's just the way I am. It's just how I live. It's just who I am. Yeah, but has it been serving you where you want to go? Truthfully? But anywho, I can be no limits. Exactly. There are no limits.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.